Welcome to another Woodwing Quick Tips. Today we're going to be talking about the InDesign plugin for the Woodwing Digital Asset Management System. The InDesign plugin is going to give you the ability to work with InDesign layouts directly from the Woodwing solution in a very powerful way. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to want to do is switch over to InDesign and log in to the plugin. Using the Woodwing menu, if I choose Login, I'm presented with a password prompt, and my credentials are going to be the same credentials that I used to log into the Woodwing system. Once that's done, I don't need to think about InDesign again until I'm ready to use it. Back in Woodwing, I'm going to locate the InDesign layout that I want to work on, and right-clicking, you'll notice that my Checkout option is grayed out. If you don't know how to work with check-in and check-out, you should check out the Woodwing Quick Tips video on working with assets. It goes through the entire procedure. Essentially what it is it allows you to work with assets inside of the system while keeping track of what's happening and maintaining a version log. But for InDesign layouts, because of this additional extra power, rather than use the basic checkout functionality, we have an option open inside of InDesign. The asset that I've selected, the layout, is going to be downloaded. I don't need to worry about the location, and it's going to be sent over to InDesign, where I can just start working on it the way I would work on any asset inside of the system. And if we go back to Elvis, we'll see that we have a pencil on top of the layout inside of the search results. And this lets everybody in the system know that this asset is checked out, that it's being worked on, and the name of the user who's using it, which in this case is Woodwing. Over in InDesign, I can make whatever changes that I need to make to this layout. And when I'm ready, I can just go ahead and check this back in. And you'll see the pencil is gone. That's been checked in. And here inside of the History tab, a new version has been created of this layout. And that's going to allow me to, one, create an audit trail of exactly who made what changes when to the asset. But also, I'll have the option to download or revert back to a previous version anytime that I want. So that's cool. But that's very similar to the checkout functionality that exists in the Woodwing system as a whole. And the InDesign plugin offers a lot more power than that. I'm going to go ahead and open up this layout again inside of InDesign. But this time I'm going to do some image manipulation work, because the most powerful part of the InDesign plugin is that it allows us to link assets directly from the Woodwing DAM to layouts inside of InDesign. And that means I no longer have to keep track of where my assets are out on a server. So I'm going to take this asset right here, I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to replace it with an asset. We'll go ahead and grab this tiger. All I have to do is take that tiger and drag it over to InDesign and drop it on that frame. That asset is now going to be placed inside of that layout, and the link is going to go directly back to Woodwing. That means that now, when I make changes to that asset, either on the Woodwing side or on the InDesign side, those changes are going to be communicated all the way through the system. Let's say, for example, that I now want to edit this image inside of InDesign. First, let's take a look back at the system. Here's that image that I placed. You can see that at the moment, it's not checked out or anything. Inside of InDesign, I'm going to right-click on that image, and I'm going to choose Edit Original. By choosing that, it's going to go ahead and open up that image for me inside of Photoshop and allow me to make changes. But if I take a look at Woodwing really quickly, you'll see that the fact that that image is being worked on has been communicated to Woodwing, and Woodwing has checked that image out of the system. Going back to Photoshop, I can make the changes that I need. I'm going to do a crop and then save it. Because I chose Edit Original from within InDesign, that change is going to be reflected in InDesign. But you'll see that that change has also been reflected, and if I select that image and open the History tab, a new version has been created with that crop. Similarly, if I make a change to that asset inside of Woodwing, that change is going to be reflected in InDesign. In this case, what I'll do is I'll revert back to this previous version. Moving over to InDesign, it's going to find the new version of this asset, and it's going to replace it in the link. The layout itself has been changed, and a version of that layout has been made with the new placed asset. So here it is. There's that tiger, and there's a new version of the asset. And it's that simple to work with InDesign files right outside of the Woodwing Digital Asset Management solution. If you're not working with a workflow system like Woodwing, the Woodwing Digital Asset Management solution gives you some of that power in a smaller package. If you'd like more information about the Woodwing Digital Asset Management solution, please visit woodwing.com.